Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring House Bill 2698 that would require DNA evidence proving paternity before a man signs a birth certificate for a child that may not be biologically his.
The state has been turning a blind eye to this by allowing people to sign blindly without any proof of DNA association to this child, which is allowing people to be guilty, or in some cases, of paternity fraud, which is a crime.
That shit's coming to an end now, y'all. To some degree. I mean, we're making some leeway when it comes to this stuff, but still got a long way to go. You know, we got to take some responsibility as well. You know, just stop shooting up clubs, man. Stop shooting up clubs. It ain't just our fault. It take two to tango. So, yeah, you know, it's men and women's fault. They both having reckless sex out here, but the men, you guys are suffering more than anybody's suffering. Well, the kids are suffering for the most part. Kids are suffering too, because that even allows, you know, some of these women that do that shit, they be like modern day slave traders. That's basically what they are. Modern day slave traders. You know, they're using kids, only having kids so they can monetize situations, not so they can build families, not so they can, you know, not to create legacies so that we can actually have a family structure. And so I can get an extra check in the house. Rely on the government to, you know, get one up on baby daddy so I can, you know, get some money up in the house, some extra money in the house. You know, so, but, and, you know, we all went on there. This is not a rant video. It's just good to kind of see that now that, you know, some of these states are now starting to bring the house down on this paternity fraud situation. And it needs to get to a point where it's 50-50 off the rip if both parties are, you know, you're both not legal, you're not proving that you're unfit. See, because the states are doing this shit because they're monetizing. They have monetary interest in it. Keep in mind, these courts are banks. They operate as banks. You know, you look at the definition of a bank, it says a court. They're dealing with money all the time. All crimes are commercial. They even turn around and turn you into a criminal if you don't pay child support. They lock you up. They do all these punishable, cruel things to you. It's like unfair practices, as they call it. You know, if you happen to drop the ball and can't pay for whatever reason, you know. So these things they have to come. We have to stay on top of this shit. And I'm gonna spend the rest of my life staying on top of this shit till they got them make that shit 50-50. If you got a fit father and a fit mother, this shit should be 50-50 out the motherfucking rip. There should be no goddamn favoritism. And now these kids growing up without fathers, and then the fathers are being blamed for not being there for their kids when they're actually trying to be there for the kids, but they're dealing with hard situations that are created by the government and taken advantage of by any mother who chooses to take advantage of the situation. You know, so anyway, you know, hopefully all 50 states, you know, do this here, you know, and I know that a lot of you guys will probably be a little nervous about even signing a paternity form, a paternity acknowledgement form, solely because, you know, you're thinking, okay, if I'm on the birth certificate, now she can file for child support and have me locked in for child support. And that's not the case. I'm on my son's certificate of live birth. I did a paternity acknowledgement form in the hospital. I witnessed his birth. You know, hell, I was the first one to change his pamper. You know, I was there the whole 9 yards, you know, throughout the whole pregnancy, you know. I didn't run from it at all. And then I didn't even, you know, and I'm on the birth certificate. And I beat the child support case. It does not automatically mean that you're locked in for child support. It's just that they make sure they got the right one that they want to target. You know, at least if you want to be, if you're going to be targeted for child support, at least let the child be yours. That's the advantage that this is going to do. It's going to stop people who's the father, who's not the father from being targeted. So that's what this does. That's what this bill does, which is a good thing. If you're gonna go after somebody for child support, at least let it be the father. Don't let it be somebody who just threw it on and never had to prove nothing. So and I would also be smart about it, because if you're going through a DNA test through the courts, this is something you got to think about. If you're going through a DNA test through the court, during a court case, that company that they're going to deal with to establish your paternity, this is game now. Y'all got to keep in mind, this is game for you guys. If you do that during the court case, you submit your DNA into a court case, during a court case, some type of order for paternity, to establish paternity or whatever, your best bet is to respond to that damn order in writing, and you do a counterclaim, some type of counter order, a counter solution, so to speak, is what you want to call it. I helped somebody do this before, because they wanted him to do a paternity test so that he wanted to do a paternity so that he can actually establish paternity through DNA, so he can actually get on the birth certificate of his daughter. But his daughter had an attorney. He didn't have an attorney. He knew not to get an attorney, because the attorney's gonna help run one in you. Their best interest. They're all public officials in a family court case. They're all trying to target the guy to see if they can put him on child support. Like, that's the only solution they can see, is a man being on child support, being a debt slave to his own kid. So that's the only solution they're gonna give you. And they're gonna try to strip your 50-50 fundamental rights of physical custody of your baby. You have that right. You have that right to have 50-50 physical and legal custody of your baby. That's your seed. That's your offspring. So her rights are no greater than yours. And that's one of the reasons why trust law is so important, is because it does what's fair. It does what's equal. That statutory bullshit, they still be trying to make a man, try to trick you into going into saying you don't have rights until you do it through this way or do it through that way, and all these are different statutory way of doing things, so that they can go ahead and trick you into a contract, and now your ass on child support. Now, I say that to say, what they do is they'll have you going into these companies. It's one company, I forgot the name of this one company. Well, it's one company called Friend of the Court. There's other companies that's in different, depending on what state you're in. But those companies that they use to establish DNA, to get your DNA that you submitted while you're going through a court procedure to submit your DNA, they're using that paperwork, that company, to default you right into compliance with being on child support. So if it comes out positive, bam, now we moving forward. We got, we got your consent, because you submitted your DNA to this. So they need your consent, they need your compliance, they need your participation. And that's how they're gonna get it, if they can get you to do that shit during a court case. So keep that in mind. So if you get somebody trying to bully you into giving your DNA, be mindful. You can respond to that. You nobody can force you into doing shit. You can't walk up to a woman and take her DNA out of her stuff. They can't take no DNA from you either. They can't do it. So they have to have your consent with anything that they're trying to do. They can't force you into no damn contracts. So for one, be wise. Stop damn shooting up clubs. Stop getting out here making these goddamn babies that you ain't trying to take care of. Stop shooting. I don't give a fuck how fine she is. I don't give a fuck how big her ass is, how good the pussy is. Stop shooting up clubs, man. Protect your goddamn self. Protect your seed. Number two, a situation where you're in a situation, you're in a relationship and you're trying to build a life with somebody. Now, my situation, my son wasn't no accident. Not on my behalf, he wasn't. I was trying to build a life with my son's mom. That's why I'm the age I am now with only one child. Because I was trying to build a life with her. I was not trying to just let her be my jump off and just shoot up the club. I was trying to build a life with her. So I had good intentions with it, but obviously I probably went through some hell if I had a married her, because I still wouldn't been up in the same situation. But the thing is, if you're in a situation where you're in a child support situation, you just have to be mindful. If you got to go through the paternity situation, if they're trying to get your DNA through a company, through the court case, through a court order, then they're going to be doing it. You're going to be using a company that's affiliated with the courts. So if you agree to that and you go and do that, then are you locked in automatically if you choose to do so? But if you choose not to do so and you don't have an attorney, your best bet is not have an attorney and do the shit on your own. And then you respond in writing, and then you don't submit shit up in there because you ain't got no business giving your DNA, your DNA, your signature, your agreement, your no check stub, no social security number, no information, no consent to nothing that they want to do through the family court. That's what I did. I ain't do shit through no family court. You're not finna do none of that. I'm gonna take care of my baby the way I created my baby. It's privately. You're not gonna make me do a goddamn thing. They can't make you do it. And you have to understand they can't make you do it. You have to, until y'all know, I can say that with boldness because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And then, I beat mine. I walked mine out. It was hard. Don't get me wrong. It was hard. It was, easier said than done, but I can speak with confidence now because I know the law a hell of a lot better than I knew back then, and I understand it better, Yeah. But I'm just making this video because it's good news that we made. They making them videos like that. Things are starting to happen. Shit's starting to shake now, and hopefully things start to get a little fair, and the family structure can get back in order like it's supposed to. Because long as family court is unfair and it's one-sided, these guys gonna keep getting their ass handed to them, and you're gonna always find the chicks that don't want to be held accountable, and they're gonna do what the fuck they want to do and blame the men for the outcome. I spoke to a chick a few days ago. Got 2 kids, 2 sons. She had been with this guy for X amount of years. She, both of the boys are by the same guy. And I'm asking, what happened with y'all? Why y'all not together? She's like, we grew apart. The fuck is grew apart? What the fuck is that? And then she's sending me, church services, like she want me to watch this church sermon with her and whatever. I'm like, I'm not a church guy no more. I follow scriptures, I don't go along with the church the way the church today's modern day churches organized religion does it, because I have a different understanding than how they do it. And it gets better, it gets the results that you're supposed to get in life than the shit that they teach in church. They teach what's good for business in church. But they don't teach they don't teach you how to really tap in with God. What we call God is within you. But that's another topic. Bottom line is, I sat and I listened to it. And I'm like, she was concentrating on making sure I'm a God-fearing man. I'm a man of God. I believe in God and all this stuff. I'm like, but you sat here and you can swear you want to be, you stand before God in a church setting, swear before God, for better, for worse, through sickness and in health, till death do us part, to love and obey and all that old different stuff, the Christian vows or whatever they do. All those things, and you still broke that shit. If you're not even loyal to a promise you make to your God, what the fuck make you think I'm supposed to believe you're gonna be loyal to me? When you left the guy, you broke the promise you made to your God, left the man you created 2 kids with, and you think I'm supposed to think you're gonna be loyal to me, who you ain't got no kids with, and I'm supposed to help you raise these 2 little boys. I'm supposed to help you raise these 2 little boys. Meanwhile, you saying I'm done having kids. And I ain't got no legacy nowhere coming up out of you, but I got to help you raise your legacies. You done lost your goddamn mind. That's a raw deal for me. And so it's like, as long as family court continues to keep it incentivized for people to do these types of things. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna, the families they'll continue to be divided like that. Men and women will continue to be divided. If we keep allowing family court, the government, these government subsidies and setups and shit, and not thinking about building lives together as families, and we continue allowing the government to do this divide and conquer type shit, then we're gonna continue to suffer like that. So wisdom got to kick in. I kind of went out on a tangent on that, but I'm gonna go ahead and get on off here. I thought I'd make this video because I'm just kind of in chill mode in a parking lot, and I heard about that house, that Tennessee bill. There's hopefully all 50 states, adopt that bill, and it's all across the board. It needs to be nationwide. so that people, they can not only just get the right one, but, you know, go after the right one, but it evolves and goes even deeper and get to the point where it's 50-50. Because if a man is a good father, he should not be facing these hardships about raising his own seed. That's not, because it's totally unconstitutional. That's what makes these things unconstitutional, because this shit shouldn't even be like that. But I'm gonna get on off here because I don't want to get into no long ass rant, no 30-minute rant about the same shit. But I'll get on y'all in the video, on the next video. You got any questions, any comments, any, you know, just hit me in the comment section. I'll see y'all in the next video. Hopefully y'all already liked and shared. If y'all already liked and subscribed, you know, we good. But if you haven't, go ahead and do that, all right? M. Rose signing out.